I've often in the past used the analogy of the windshield wipers, as well as, I haven't used this one in a while, but I will use it for this video. What did I call it? Oh, this is nostalgic almost. The reflection in the window analogy, something like that. I forgot what I call it, but the first being the windshield wiper analogy. If you perceive when you're driving a car and it's pouring rain out and you turn your windshield wipers to max speed, does this distract you from the road? It doesn't, does it? And if anything, it helps you focus more. Catalyst, change, disruptive movements, they wake you up more, make you more undistracted if you learn how to pay attention, if that's your intention. So when you're driving and it's raining and your windshield wipers are going crazy right in front of your vision, right? They go like this, right in front of your vision. They're in between you and the road. But they don't distract you. You don't follow the movements of the windshield wipers. You don't go like this. You pierce straight through. You look straight through the surface, beyond the surface, and you focus on what it is you need to focus on, in this case, the road. So you remain undistracted by the appearances, by the movement of the windshield wipers. You can apply this to your own life. See every thought you have, every emotion, every belief system that gets triggered, every circumstantial event, place, thing, time, person, information, data point, point of view, perception, experience. See them all as appearances, like windshield wipers, in front of your vision, trying to fool you, trying to distract you from what you are. They're actually, the true purpose behind these appearances is to help wake you up. But it helps sometimes to see them as distractions that try to fool you, even though they are your friends, because their purpose is to help you wake up to your true self. However, on a practical note or level, it helps to see them as distractions. But they are friends. Don't diminish anything, but use them as distractions. It helps you become more undistracted. So thoughts and emotions come and go, and they are like this. But just because they go like this doesn't mean you have to go like this along with them. You can remain undistracted, become aware of the fact that there's a wide open, spacious, basic awareness timelessly here, and become more rooted in that undistractedness. See through the smoke. Smoke and mirrors, my friends. This world is smoke and mirrors. The world of the senses is smoke and mirrors. Your true nature is the source of all well-being, and it's ever here, always accessible. I would love for you to tap into that, to set yourselves free. The other analogy is that of the reflection in the window. Let's say you're on a shopping street and you pause in front of a certain store because you're interested in what they have to sell. Now, there's something in the window, like a mannequin that's wearing the clothes that you are interested in buying, the brand that you're interested in. Or perhaps there's jewelry right behind the window, like a bunch of watches that you're interested in. So you look at the watches and you're fooled, you're distracted. And what you see is the form, what you see is the shape. What you see is what's behind the window, but there's a window between you and the object. In a very similar sense, every experience you've ever had or ever will have is like a piece of jewelry behind a piece of glass. And there's a trick to getting to know yourself more directly. And that is, instead of, imagine standing in front of that window with the jewelry behind it that you like. And suddenly, for a split second, you wake up to the fact, you take a step back, you zoom out a little bit. And now, instead of seeing the jewelry behind the glass, you notice your own face being reflected in the window. It's like that shift of like, oh, wait a second, I am here. I'm standing right here. And because of me standing here, I can even see the jewelry. Without me standing here, I couldn't see the jewelry. But I forgot about myself. I didn't see myself reflected in the window. I looked through the window and I was fooled by whatever is behind the window. The form, the shape, the changes, the windshield wipers, the thoughts, the emotions, the beliefs, the promise of pleasure in the senses. Nothing wrong with pleasure, by the way, but the promise of pleasure in senses is what distracts us from our true well-being, our true peace, our true reliable stability. And so, every experience can be looked at in two different ways. One is we can define and describe and get lost in all kinds of descriptions, descriptive frameworks about what we are seeing, the form, the shape, the size, the meaning of it, etc. Or we can turn that experience around, so to speak, or use it as a mirror and see ourselves confirmed, affirmed in the presence of that form, shape, size, duration, meaning, whatever it is. And so every story that we have, every experience that we have can perform double duty, so to speak. It can distract us, or it can remind us of who it is that we are. And all that's required is a shift in attention from the objects to the self that's watching the objects. And then again, our undistractedness begins to grow, and the inner stream of self-nourishment, self-soothing well-being increases by the day, by the exercise, by the moment. Every time we practice, we strengthen our ability to let in that which we already are, to see, to recognize that which is always here. We increase our ability to see through the smoke and to use everything as a mirror. Smoke and mirror, my friends. Smoke and mirrors. Rely on that which is true. If it comes and goes, it cannot be ultimately true. Search for that within your direct experience, which never changes, which never comes and never goes. And you will transcend, ultimately, thoughts and emotions and even death. The illusion of death will be transcended through your direct experience. I love you very much. I hope you find this stability within yourself appealing enough to spend some time with it more every day. Befriend the natural state of ever-present, wide open, sky-like, pristine, stainless freedom that's already here, listening to my voice right now. Merge in that, rest in that, become absorbed, reliant on that friend which is ever here for you. Much love.